By North Carolina head coach Hubert Davis, student athlete Armando Bacot. We're going to go ahead and open the floor up for questions. So if you have a question, please raise your hand and we'll bring a microphone to you. We're going to start on the front row in the middle.
Coach, the 9-0 run to start the second half sort of seemed to knock you guys on your heels. It was kind of hard to recover. What happened in that spurt, and what are your thoughts about how your team did not recover there?
No, we just, in the second half, we had talked about halftime, just coming out and coming out strong on both ends of the floor, just getting defensive stops, getting the shots that we want on the offensive end, just doing a better job executing. I felt like in the first half, everything was difficult, everything was hard, and we were all very encouraged about starting the second half and trying to change things around, and it just didn't happen. We made some mistakes defensively. On the offensive end, we turned the ball over and didn't get the shots that we wanted, and they were able to capitalize. And just really have to congratulate Virginia Tech. They played an extremely well tonight, and they were the better team tonight.
We have the second row in the middle on the left side here.
Hubert, with Virginia Tech switching screens, I know they did that during the regular season as well. How did that impact your team shooting 3 of 26 from three?
Well, particularly in the first half, I felt like we got good looks from three. We just missed them. And then in the second half, I felt a lot of our threes were contested and were forced. They were switching a lot. Their physicality bothered us. And one of the things that we talked about was attacking the basket through poster penetration. Because they were switching so much, we felt like that we could attack the basket, score, or be able to get fouled and get to the free throw line. And we weren't able to do that as well. And so, at the beginning of the game, at the 16-minute mark, I told the guys, okay, let's settle down. I felt like maybe they were a little bit nervous. And then there were parts in the game, maybe I felt like they were a little bit tired. And so, but one of the things that I said after the game is I don't want them to be discouraged. I want them to be encouraged. I know that we're disappointed that we did not play better and we did not win tonight. But over the last month and a half, 2 months, I can't tell you how proud I am of this group. I mean, I told them, I remember that bus ride coming back at Wake Forest, and to think from that point that this group, led by Armando, we've won 12 out of 15. That's a team of perseverance, of fight, and I'm very proud to be their coach.
When you go to the middle room, second row.
Yeah, Coach, kind of going off the three-point shooting. I know you guys were down by, I guess, a sizable margin early in the second half, but was there any moment when you decided to sort of abandon the three-point game, or was it something that you sort of had to live and die by that point?
No, I don't think there was a situation to abandon the three-point, shot. We were just trying to get good shots, and it was just very difficult against Virginia Tech's defense to consistently get great shots. I mean, Armando was 9 of 10 from the field, but it was just very difficult to get the ball into him. They did a great job being physical with him, and as soon as they caught it, they double team. And this was the first time that they had done this to us. In the previous 2 times, their double team came from the opposite side from the baseline, and so at times that disrupted us. And it's something that we'll learn from and grow and be better at when another team does that.
We're going to go to CEO in the middle.
Armando, kind of piggybacking off of that, can you kind of take us through what it was like when they were coming with the doubles? How hard was it to anticipate where the pass was supposed to go, or even who was coming to make that double?
Yeah, I mean, it was a little weird. It was more of a unique double team from what I've seen, just them coming from the baseline, and then they kind of zoned up on the weak side. So early on, a lot of my reads, it kind of threw off my timing on passes and stuff, just because they did a good job on the weak side playing between 2 men. So it's kind of hard, and I like going baseline a lot. So it definitely affected a lot of the things we were trying to get into.
When you go to the left side of the room.
Hubert, what was it about Virginia Tech's 4-guard lineup that presented a challenge for you guys tonight?
Well, with their small lineup, there was always an opportunity where there was one of our bigs guarding their guards. And Virginia Tech is a little bit different from the standpoint they were getting switches, and their guards aren't necessarily one-on-one, take you out on the perimeter. Now Armando, now Brady are having to guard perimeter players coming off like down screens and DHOs, and those are things that they don't necessarily do very much. And so that put us in a different situation, put our bigs in guarding differently. And so at times we had to go small, but you know, I love Brady and Armando in the game. And so that small lineup bothered us.
When you go to the back right of the room.
This is for Armando. Can you describe the disappointment of being eliminated, particularly after playing so well the last few games?
Yeah, I mean, it was disappointing just because we came in with the thought of winning the championship. But like Coach said, I mean, I'm still encouraged though, because we've done a good job all year just responding to adversity. And I mean, we all confident in ourselves, and we're just moving on to the next step, and we're just ready for the tournament. We'll come prepared.
When you go to Brendan in the back right.
Hey, Hubert, you mentioned you got a sense that maybe the guys started to get a little bit tired. Did you mean that more in the physical sense with fatigue and having to play a back-to-back game? Or do you mean in the emotional sense in terms of what the last week has been for you guys, or more of a little bit of both?
No, I wasn't. It was all physical. You know, it's the starters play big minutes. And back-to-back high-level games aren't really friendly to starters that play big minutes. Also, the two teams that we played, both of them from an offensive standpoint, they have a lot of movement and they don't shoot quick shots. And so you're playing long defensive possessions. And so, you know, we played two unbelievably quality opponents back to back. Our starters play big minutes, and both of these teams is probably the worst two teams that we can play because of their movement and how hard you have to work on every possession. And so it just, but again, I do want to congratulate Virginia Tech. They were the better team tonight, and they just were.
When you go to Brett in the front row.
Armando, you guys scored 9 straight points and cut the lead to 11 with a lot of time still left. And then Mutt scored, and then Maddox had the 4-point play. Could you kind of go through that sequence, and how deflating was that to get that to within almost 11 points and then have it balloon back up to 17 so quickly?
Yeah, I mean, it was tough at the moment because we were trying to make a run. But, I mean, Virginia Tech, I said it at the beginning of the year, ACC media, I thought they were a top 3 team in the conference. I mean, I believe they are a tournament team. So sometimes when you're playing good teams like that, they just make shots and respond well. So it's something to learn from, but hey, it is what it is.
We're going to go to the right side, second row.
Armando, you guys have been playing confident down the stretch of the regular season. Do you think tonight at all affects any of that confidence for the NCAA tournament? And what would you say you guys' overall mindset is just heading into the next part of this season?
Yeah, no, I don't think that affected our confidence at all. I mean, they just played a great game. They made shots. I mean, they're a tough team, and I mean, it's hard to beat a good team 3 times in a row, but I mean, we feel good about where we're at right now. We're ready for Sunday to figure out who we can play, and I feel like we're in a good spot.
We're going to go second row now. Did you have one? Or first row to Mark Grumman. Do you have a question, Mark?
Yeah, Hubert, you've already mentioned a couple of things, but anything else you thought Tech did better or differently than in the 2 regular season games?
Well, I thought their bench played a lot better. I don't know the exact statistics, but in the first 2 matchups, even though Darius Maddox is an outstanding player, they didn't really outscore us very much from the bench. And so 30-6 bench points, that's significant. And I don't know if that was Maddox's career high, but it has to be close. And coming off the bench, having that type of performance, you talked about we cut it to 11. He hit that 4-point play on the 3. He was really good tonight. And I thought that was a huge difference maker in Virginia Tech this time as opposed to the first 2 times that we played.
Our last question will come from the left of the room.
Yeah, Armando, you've had some great battles with Keve Aluma over the last few seasons. I was curious, is there anything specific about his skill set, that you've noticed that makes him a tough matchup down low?
I would say he do a good job of drawing fouls. So a lot of the times it put me in a tough position guarding him because when I'm playing straight up, he do a good job of, using his body and getting me to foul him. And also it's so much misdirection to get him the ball, like cross screens, and he can shoot the ball too. So it's a lot different guarding him than a lot of other players.
Perfect. Thanks so much, guys.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.